Hello and welcome to Daybreak English. Today I'm talking about apostrophes. Hi, my name's Dawn. How are you doing today? The dreaded apostrophe. This causes so much trouble for native English speakers. It's one of the most common errors we'll find when people are writing. So, I've told you in the past that my sister is an author of children's books. She sends her manuscripts to me to pre-read before they go to her editor, just to pick up any obvious errors. Well, when she first started writing, she put apostrophes absolutely everywhere, all in the wrong places. Sometimes she would accidentally get one right. In my notes back to her, I would write about 10 to 15 comments per page, and around 80% of them related to apostrophes. She has got much better over time, by the way. Her stories are amazing. Check out her website. I'll leave a link in the description. Anyway, back to apostrophes. When and where do we use apostrophes in our writing? Firstly, let's talk about why we use apostrophes. Apostrophes are there to show us that one or more letters are missing. That is why they exist. But because English is a language that has evolved over thousands of years and has a lot of different influences, the rules have changed from time to time. It's almost like the way we use them goes in and out of fashion. So anyway, these are the rules as I understand them as of right now. Number one is the most straightforward. We use apostrophes in contractions. We make contractions by pushing words together. I have becomes I've, cannot becomes can't, we will becomes we'll, is not becomes isn't, she has becomes she's, etc. It is important to note that contractions are very informal and should not be used in formal or academic writing. Number two, to show singular possession. We put the apostrophe before the S. This came about because way back in the old days, they used to add an ES on the end of a noun or proper noun to show ownership. The E has since been dropped. So even though we don't use the E anymore, the apostrophe to show the missing letter is still there. For example, Stephen's book, Deepak's pen, St. Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, my family's restaurant. Note the spelling here of families. It is one family that owns the restaurant, so it is singular. Now, there are exceptions to this rule. Of course, it's English. There must be exceptions. The first exception is its. Because its with an apostrophe S is the contracted form of it is, we don't use an apostrophe for the possessive pronoun its. Examples: the dog was looking at its bowl. No apostrophe. The alien put its shoes on. No apostrophe. The other exception is when an object, building, or piece of furniture owns something else. We don't use an apostrophe or even an S at all. For example, I'm meeting her in the hotel lobby. We don't say in the hotel's lobby. Someone left a note on the car windscreen, not car's windscreen. I have a new laptop case. We wouldn't say laptop's case. That chair leg is broken. not chair's leg. Number 3, to indicate plural possession. To show possession of something when a noun is plural ending in S, we put the apostrophe after the S. For example, Georgina is a families worker, a person who works with families. The word families in this case is plural, so the apostrophe goes after the S. Note the spelling. Another example, the twins' favorite game is chess. This is the same for proper nouns that are plural. For example, the Woodfords' house is always so tidy. I will talk about the proper nouns that always end in an S in more detail at the end of the video. For irregular plural nouns that don't end in S, it's a different story. For example, he entered the men's room. We use an apostrophe S after men. It's the same with children. Children is already plural, so we add apostrophe S. They are reading children's books. Number 4, letters and numbers. We don't use apostrophes for ordinary plurals, whereas there is no possession, except when it would be confusing if we didn't, like when we're talking about individual letters. All the lowercase letters need an apostrophe in the plural form. So if I wrote dot your I's and cross your T's, I would put an apostrophe between the two letters. Otherwise, it would look like is and s. There are only a small number of uppercase letters that use an apostrophe in plural form. They are A, I, M, and U. All the other uppercase letters don't need an apostrophe. Numbers are a bit different. The only number that needs an apostrophe S is 0. If we are talking about a decade, say the 1990s, we don't use an apostrophe anymore. Like I said earlier about apostrophe fashions, that's one of them. We used to put an apostrophe, but now we don't. However, if you were shortening the date to show the two last numbers only, then put an apostrophe before the number. So 1927 becomes apostrophe 27, and the 1940s becomes apostrophe 40s, because we need to show that the numbers are missing. Now, for proper nouns that always end in an S, I'm talking about first names like Chris and James, last names like Harris, Jones, and well, James can be a first and a last name, and place names like cities and countries. How do we show possession with these proper nouns? Well, there is a lot of information out there about this subject, but the conclusion I have come to is that for a singular proper noun that ends in an S, you can do whatever you want. It's a matter of style and personal preference. If you want to put an apostrophe S after the S, Chris's, James's, or Charles's, that's fine. But it's also okay just to put an apostrophe after the S. Both are correct. But it's important to be consistent. If you start doing it one way in a document, keep doing it in the same style. For singular place names that end in an S, it's the same. You can use either style. Los Angeles's, Texas's, etc. For example, Los Angeles' movie industry. Now for plural proper nouns that always end in an S, if we are talking about a whole family whose last name is Jones and they all own something together, first we need to make the name plural. We do this by adding ES, Joneses. Then we add the apostrophe after the S to show possession. For example, I went to the Joneses' house yesterday. Other examples. I would love to go on the Harris's yacht. The Williams's dog is vicious. And for plural place names such as the Netherlands, the United States, the Maldives, we always put the apostrophe after the S. The Netherlands population is around 17 million. The United States immigration policy. Phew, we got there. That was a lot of information to take in. Thanks for staying with me to the end. I hope you found this video helpful. Wherever you are, have a good one. See you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like. Remember to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Let me know in the comments what kinds of videos you'd like to see in the future. See you again soon. Bye!